Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Orphan Black, episode 509, titled One Fettered Slave, which premiered Saturday, August 5th, 2017 on Space and BBC America. I am recording on August the 10th, so it's been almost a week, but I've been so busy, so I just want to start talking about it now. So huge spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, sorry, please go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen right now. Take a moment to read over those. Otherwise, let's start the 10-minute clock, and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, I thought it was the next day, but apparently they made the comment that it's been 4 days since Felix's art show. 4 days, which happened the same day that Helena was captured by Detective Maddie Anger, aka Neolution. So it's been 4 days for them. So there's that. Storyline-wise, I picked up on 3 different storylines that you can kind of see focus on. One being Helena's past. So we get that through a whole bunch of flashbacks and stuff like that. Second being the rescue mission to get Helena back from Neolution. So there's that. And the third one being the funeral for Mrs. S. As you know, the final moments of the previous episode were her dying moments after she had killed Ferdinand. So there is that. So with the first storyline with Helena's past, we see a little kid, Helena, brown hair, and we found out how she managed to get the blonde hair. And it was because she was being punished for not only being in a teacher's room and stealing, but also for witnessing certain adult events that she wasn't supposed to. So because of that, they claimed she was the devil. So which is awful, but they punished her by bleaching her hair and then locked her in confinement. I don't know if they continuously bleached her hair to get it the blonde that it is, or if it's just because they bleached it so much that one time, then her hair has just naturally done that on its own. I have no idea. So there's that. We also do see flashbacks of Helena as a young woman with Tatiana still portraying Helena. So that is when Tomas, as you remember, grooming her and kind of forging her into this killer of killing the clone faces. And this is before she even realized that it's her own face. So we do see that. With the second storyline, though, like we said, mission for Helena, pretty much we have the search for all the board member meetings, since Neolution tried to kill them off to clean up the mess. But the one they really focus on is Al-Khatib, or the Money Man, as I've been referring to him the whole time I watched the episode. But they also, because they brought him on, they use him to set the trap that Rachel's being a decoy when it's really Sarah pretending to be her, so that she gets close enough to get to Helena. So there's that. We also see Helena trying to kill herself before to save her babies the fate of being experimented on, but before she manages to follow through with that or to succeed in that extent, she's forced into a blood transfusion with Sarah. And then at the very end of the episode, we see Helena's water breaking. So there's that. And then also the funeral for Mrs. S. We see Felix reading a goodbye letter from Mrs. S. as if she was anticipating her end at some point in all this. So there's that. We also know that Cosima and Allison couldn't attend because that would have brought a lot of questions of how and why they existed and stuff like that. So they're there in spirit and web chats and all that. Now the last scene of the episode was actually Helena's water breaking as Sarah tries to escape with her. Now, as I said, the very beginning of the season, I predicted that the series finale could very well be Helena going into labor. And since the next episode is the series finale, it's pretty much set itself up to that, with the delivery of the twins being in the finale. So there's that. Now, new characters or any character tidbits we learned with P.T. Westmoreland, or the fake P.T., John Matheson, I guess I should say. He's pretty much running out of time. He's been wearing a wig the whole time. He's losing his breath a lot more. It definitely appears a lot more in this episode that he's literally running on borrowed time right now. So there's that. Also, we see the return of Sister Irina, aka the nun without a tongue, and she, in her own way, tells Sarah that Helena was taken by delivering Helena's journal and writing messages and how she found Helena's empty room and stuff like that. We also see the return of Tomas through the flashbacks, and we see how he started brainwashing Helena to kill the copies, telling Helena that she was the original, how Helena Helena started cutting her back the way she did. So there's that. We also see the return of Maddie Anger, and she comes back to cause trouble for Art back at the precinct, where we also see the return of his captain as well. So there's that. Also, we see the final appearance of Mr. Frontenac. He's in charge of the Neolution cleanup of all the board members, although at the very end he is killed off by Art. So there's that, as he tries to protect Mr. Alcatib, the money man. So there's that. Also, we see the last of Mark Rowlands, who had dreams of being a PE teacher after being cured of his glitch. Although before that can any happen, he is killed off by Dr. Cody, and she did this while he thought she was giving him a cure injection. Instead, she killed him with this unknown injection. So there's that, because fake PT told her to do so, as they couldn't have loose ends from Castor. So there's that. And also with Dr. Virginia Cody, the last we see of her is her getting her head bashed in repeatedly by Helena, as Helena does. So there's that. Now, tidbit-wise, though, is that for Neolution's cleanup happening before the board members, so that they could not expose the fake PT Westmoreland and what exactly Neolution was doing. And because of this cleanup, we have 4 of them dead, and apparently 3 of them are off the grid or AWOL or unaccounted for. So there's that. We also learned that Hellwizard used to work for security, big companies, which is how he was able to not only hack them into the system, but actually go through all the processes into getting his old dyad. We learned through a comment that Delphine is in France. Not particularly sure as to why she's all the way over there, but there's that. We also get Kira feeling the pain that Helena was in, and knowing that she's in trouble, or her twins are in trouble, or that she's about to give birth. Not sure to what extent those pains were, but there's that. Also, Mark didn't know that Gracie was killed by Neolution when they went to grab Helena. And then also Dr. Cody had killed Mark with the fake cure injection, telling him to go to sleep. The dizziness wear off, and he just never wakes up. So there's that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode. I think for me it has to be the fact that Helena attempts suicide to save her babies from being experimented on. I never expected that move from Helena, because she's always been a fighter and a survivor. But then in a way I can see her doing that to save her babies the fate of not only being raised the way she was, but to not be experimented on, like she's come to realize is a terrible fate for her babies, or to be hunted by them, or be hunted for their specialty. So there's that. But the way she was trying to do it was actually very Helena of her, very creative in how she was able to use her surroundings to do what she needed to do in the moment. So there's that. Moving on to the top 3 favorite moments, I would have to say that one of the favorites would have to be Sarah pretending to be Rachel in order to get herself close to Helena. I love clone impersonations. It's really cool to see one clone trying to be another when essentially it's still the same actors playing her own characters, playing them in a different way. I always commented on them. It's really great to see, because in the moment, sometimes you can't tell it's a clone impersonation going on, unless for certain how certain aspects of them are supposed to look. So there's that. With Rachel, she had kind of the very dirty blonde, or kind of going on the verge of being a brunette again in the episode, while Sarah went with the full old Rachel blonde wig that she had. So there's that type of a difference, so that you can distinctly see. So there's that. Another favorite of mine was just the team web chat sessions, the Skyping, I guess you can say, back at the house, and they're trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do next. What's the plan to stop Elena, and just what are they going to do after all this? It was just great to see everyone being included in on it on both sides, for Cosima on her side, Allison on her side, and then everyone else who was at the Mrs. S's wake being on their side of the Skype, and not just having it be Sarah and the clones just talking, but it's every aspect of the team being included in that. So I really like that, despite the severity of the situation they're speaking about. So there's that. And the third one was the rescue mission for Helena. I like that everyone had a part to play. Everyone had a role to follow through with. And it was just great to see that unfold. Great to see how they improvised when they needed to, or how they kind of dealt when being left to dry without really realizing that shit's about to hit the fan. So it was really great to see the whole group of them finally sharing scenes together as a group, not as opposed to just one-on-one type of scenes, and then having off-screen them transferring information to each other type of thing. So it's just great to actually see them working as a team like this. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 peeved moments, I have to say the only peeve I have was that Mark was killed. Yes, I didn't like the fact that he was willing to betray Helena and all that, and the clone club, essentially his sisters. But again, it was to get himself cured, which he didn't end up getting. He ended up being played, and it was tough because he was the sole survivor of Castor, and he just ended the way he did. Was just it was sad for sure. But what will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The huge focus on Helena's backstory, for sure. It definitely had the episode was focused on Helena, whether it's through her backstory, whether it's how she was dealing with Neolution having her as their prisoner, or even the rest of Clone Club trying to find a way to get her back. It was really heavy on Helena, for sure, which I'll remember. But moving on to random questions very quickly, since the timer did go off. First one being, is Dr. Cody dead after that bashing from Helena? I want to make sure, is it possible that she can take such a beating and still be alive, yet unconscious, or is she actually down for the count and out of commission, so to speak? So there's that. Another question is, why was another little girl used to play young Helena? I mean, it really threw me off at first when she showed her stealing the chocolates from the desk, and she was a brunette, so you didn't really know which or who she was supposed to be, because we've always seen the actress Cynthia Gallant playing the younger versions of the clones, and to see this other girl playing her, she did a fantastic job, though it threw me off. So the only reason I can think of as to why they picked another girl to play young Helena would be because this version of Helena was meant to be younger than what the actress Cynthia Gallant is actually right now, because we first were introduced to the younger versions of the clones, aka Charlotte, and then the flashbacks of Rachel and stuff like that back in season 2, I believe. So it's like 3 years ago. So it would have, if only they had Cynthia play a young Helena back then, and then just use that footage now. Kind of like to stock up the fact that, okay, you're younger, we still want to play Helena at this young age, but because we don't have plans for it until later on in the season, but we want to use you type of thing, let's do it now. So it's a shame that they couldn't do that, considering that they've had such a 5-year plan and all. I would assume they had this story in mind, but that's the only reason why I can think of as to why they'd use another little girl to play Helena, was because she's meant to portray a younger age than what we're seeing Cynthia playing right now with Charlotte, so that's my only reason. If anyone else can figure out an answer as to that, or if anyone else was thrown off by that little change in a young Lita clone, please let me know in the comments down below. And the last question is still, where the hell is Cal? I mean, we haven't seen him since season 2, season 3, and with everything with Kira going on, you'd think he'd be there, or what I don't remember what exactly happened to him, or what was their reasoning behind his absence in season 4, I think. So there's that. But moving on to the predictions, based off the promo for 510, again, it's the series finale, so it's very quick. It doesn't really give much away, but it pretty much sets it up for Helena giving birth to her twins, which is what I predicted. But then the voiceover is Helena, and then she's talking about all these different clones, and we see all the different faces of them. Don't know if it's just going to be quick montages of in memory of them, or if we're actually going to see them in person in the present day, and stuff like that. So there is that. But based off the synopsis for 510 that I got from my TV series app, it reads that in the series finale, Helena prepares to deliver in the basement of Old Dyad, while Sarah and Art fight to protect her from Neolution. So chances are that they're going to, if Dr. Cody is truly dead, then chances are it's only the fake P.T. Westmoreland that is the big bad that they have to stop to get to Helena, because everyone else is taking orders from him. So it's going to look like a showdown. While their best fighter, being it Helena, is down for the count, ready to give birth to two miracle babies. So there's that. But a question out of all this, though, is coming to realize, though, is that are we ever going to get a Cosima flashback episode? Did we get one and I just missed it? Or are we only going to get side comments about her upbringing, like being on a boat, or her parents always traveling, or being like the scientists or whatever? I'm wondering if that's all we're going to get about Cosima's flashback, because we did see her a bit in like Beth's flashback, or we got to see her in a bit of Allison's flashback. We don't actually get to see Cosima's own flashback. So I'm wondering if we're ever going to get that, and considering we only have one episode left, I'm wondering what are the possibilities of that happening, unless it really ties into to what's happening in the finale. And also, are we going to get a definite answer as to whether Cosima actually found a cure for the Lita clones? We just know that she was showing positive results before the shit hit the fan with PT being exposed and turning against them type of thing. So there's another question right there, though. But that's about it, guys. What did you guys think about the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen in the finale, the series finale? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all of that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. I am definitely behind for Orphan Black for this season on my Tumblr, but I will get right back into it when I am able to. But it's a great way. I also do other TV shows, so it's a great way to find everything in one place if you like that. So please check me out there. Also, check out my WordPress account. Again, it's connected to Tumblr as well as everything else I post online. It's a little more organized, but it's still a work in progress. So I do hope you give it a chance. Otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back and see what I have to say about the series finale. It's all been coming down to this moment, guys. So until then, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.